What does the month of February 2025 hold for us, our future, and the future of our beautiful planet Earth? Friends, we have stepped into the year of the snake, a year in which we are going to shed our old skins as we step into an amazing time for humanity. A window of time, where our vision and our intuition are going to become super clear as we move towards this future where both technology and spiritual ascension take humanity to amazing new levels. So what could we expect in February of 2025 and beyond? Major changes are flowing in, friends, and it's an amazing time for all of us, especially if we take advantage of these incoming energies and alignments that I'm going to discuss with you today. February is going to bring huge ups and downs when it comes to the financial markets and the economy. At the same time, February could be a month where you could literally, if your vision's clear, make a whole lot of money. February is going to be the beginning of this AI world takeover. Shocking confessions coming in from a leader who decides to step down as they're probably being pushed out. Major weather events coming in towards the end of February. And so many problems and solutions when it comes to water. All kinds that we're going to discuss today. And it's really an amazing time if you're really willing to step into this flow of energy in the month of February. This is my February forecast and predictions. A happy February 2025 to all you beautiful souls, and a big happy birthday goes out to all our February Aquarians and our late February Pisces as we begin to step into Pisces season in the latter part of February. Your birthday happens to be the most powerful day of the year. That is, if you actually know how to utilize the weeks leading up and the day of your birthday, which most folks actually don't take advantage of this time. If you want to take advantage and you have a birthday coming up in the near future, especially a few weeks before your birthday, be sure to check out my video, Most Powerful Day of the Year, so that you can make the best out of your astrological new year and your birthday. I'll leave a link above and down below in the description. And again, a big happy birthday to our Aquarians and Pisces of February. February 2025, friends, is a month that can ring with harmony, a month of reflection, and also a month of completion. February, in the realm of numerology, is a 2 universal month, while we're bathing in 2025 in the 9 universal year energy. The 2 vibrations going to carry with it this month the energy of balance, the energy of patience, along with it emotional wisdom and spiritual wisdom. Against this backdrop of this 9 vibrational year that we're in that's focused on endings, spiritual growth, and major transformation. This year is a collapsing of the old systems. Now, the number 2 vibration is focused on duality, partnerships, and our sensitivity. It's also a vibration that's there to remind us of our greatest strength. And that greatest strength lies in unity, partnerships, cooperation, and of course, deep emotional intelligence. Now, in this 9 vibrational year that we're in, where the cycles are closing and again, these old patterns and old structures are dissolving, February serves for a sacred pause for all of us, just urging us to approach our friendships, our relationships, and even our dreams and our decisions with grace, compassion, and trust, of course, that everything is perfectly, divinely aligned by universe, friends, always. The month of February in that 2 vibration is going to ask us to choose peace over conflict, healing over the divisions that are happening all over the planet, and faith over fear. Remember, no fear, friends, no fear. There are moments of emotional intensity that's going to flow in as this 9 vibrational energy often brings with it closure and a lot of karmic lessons. I see karma hitting people again. You know, I've just witnessed it over the past week, seeing people get hit with their karma. And I question, do they even realize they're getting their karma? Because I see them getting their karma and likely know why. It's just very, very interesting to me. So we're going to see these karmic lessons all coming into place with these the 9 vibration and the 2 vibration of February. Now, the 2 vibrations also reminding us that we are never alone. Remember, it's duality, friends. It's partnerships. You are absolutely never alone. And even when you think you're alone, remember, you always got your guardian angels and guides that are always with you. Ancestors, loved ones, and a whole group of people. They're always there. As soon as you think of them, they're right at your side. So this too is also going to encourage us to seek diplomatic solutions that we could see playing out throughout the globe, open-hearted communication with others, and again, spiritual alignments. Spiritual alignments both in the personal realm with your personal life, but also in the collective universal realm as well. As we navigate through these shifting tides, because that's what it's going to be feeling like, a lot of shifting, a lot of ups and downs in the month of February. This is a time really, again, for us to cultivate some patience, honor our emotions, allow your emotions to flow freely in a nice, positive manner. And at the same time, remember the power of connection, the power of connecting with others, whether it be through love, through friendships, or from deeper relationship that you develop with the divine creator, with Jesus, with the Lord, with your spirit guides, or what have you. This is the perfect time to do so, friends. So let February be a month where you soften into the wisdom rather than force yourself into these solutions and trying to figure everything out. When you listen to Spirit, remember you will receive the answers. Just be patient. The 2 is all about patience. And remember, part of that duality is the duality between you and your guides. And your guides is where your intuition comes from and stems from. So allow all these things to just gracefully move through this month so that it helps you align with a much more positive future, a future where you are abundant, joyful, and happy. That's the future that we all aim to reach, and that future is there for all of us. We just got to reach and hold that vision. Now, the universe is weaving this tapestry of new beginnings that are happening, stepping, especially as we step into 2026 with the 1 vibration. But remember, the old systems have to collapse before the new ones go into place. So in the month of February, just take some time to hold some space for yourself. Hold some space for love, friends. Stay focused on the heart center, the heart chakra, and also forgiveness. Sometimes we just got to let it go, friends. Forgiveness is powerful. And know that the divine creator is orchestrating amazing things. And I would tell you to also watch for miracles to begin to unfold in the month of February. February, being the 2 universal month, again brings in these great energies of patience, balance, relationships, and emotional sensitivity within a larger cycle of that 9 vibrational year, which focuses again on endings, transformation, and our spiritual growth. We are going to see so much amazing spiritual growth happening for the masses over the next year. This is a time for us in the month of February for cooperation, a time for your intuition and to tap into that intuition, which is always really a time to tap into that intuition. Reflect on things that are positive and the journey that you have come down so far. And remember that this requires some discernment to avoid emotional overwhelming of yourself or to ignite stagnation into your life as well. So therefore, I put together, as I do each and every forecast, a list of the important do's and don'ts of the 2 vibration so that you can flow through the month of February with ease and joy. Starting with the important things you definitely want to do while we are bathing in this 2 vibration in February. This vibration is all about strengthening your relationships, whether they be romantic relationships, platonic relationships, or even professional relationships. This is a time to build bridges, not to burn bridges, or to blow bridges up, as some people like to do. Remember, this month is all about harmony, diplomacy, and deepening your connections. So you definitely want to work on deepening those connections. Another important factor that we definitely need to focus on doing when we're bathing in the 2 vibration is to practice some patience and some cooperation. The 2 energy is really slow, but at the same time, it's really steady. That encourages us to trust in the divine timing of the universe rather than forcing the outcomes to come. Don't force things this month. Forcing things is just going to just cause a collapse. You don't need that to happen. Instead, flow with life rather than fighting against it all the time. Again, practice patience and be cooperative when you need be. Personally, on this next important factor that we definitely need to focus on, I believe we should be focusing on this all the time, each and every day. But the 2 vibration is definitely pushing us to focus and tune in to our intuition. Remember, friends, your first instinct's 100% correct. How many times have you said to yourself, I knew I should have did that? Or I knew I should have made that turn, or I knew I shouldn't have done that, right? That's because you got these little devils on your shoulder, fear and ego, that like to talk you out of stuff all the time. Don't let them. Put them in check. They become spoiled brats. Don't let them be spoiled brats anymore. Go with your first instinct. Know that first instinct comes from your guardian angels, your guides. That's where it stems from. Thank them, honor them. The more you do, the better you become at it. Remember, your inner voice is going to be stronger in the month of February than it's been in quite some time. So pay attention to your gut feelings. Pay attention to synchronicities that are happening around you and the divine message that's guiding you towards the right path of life. Remember, we have many paths in life, and we get to choose those paths when we're aware of it. Unfortunately, most people aren't aware of it, or they try to, again, force their way down the path that doesn't end up being a good path, sometimes ends up being dead ends. Instead, trust your gut feelings. Again, look at the synchronicities and let the divine creator help you to flow through this month with ease and joy. The 2 vibration of February is definitely a time where we can embrace emotional wisdom, because this month is all about sensitivity. It's all about healing and the power of healing, especially when it comes to emotional healing, emotional intelligence. So allow yourself to feel very deeply, but respond rather than react to situations of conflict, or it's just going to cause more conflict. Again, respond, don't react. In beings, the 2 vibration helps us with flowing through emotional healing and other levels of healing. Another important thing that we need to do and be willing to do and not resistant to is to forgive. And let it go, friends. Let it go, because the 9 universal year that we're in, that's going to help. And February is all about opportunity for closures, to let things go and to bring closure to matters. Whether it be something that hurt you in the past, whether it be an old relationship or an old friendship, maybe your limiting belief system. Release what no longer serves you. Use that 9 vibration of the year and the 2 duality to assist you in making the best out of February 2025. These are the pitfalls in which you need to avoid while we're flowing and bathing in both the 2 and 9 vibrations of February. First, do not rush into things, friends. Do not rush into things. You're just going to cause yourself turmoil and troubles. And don't force things to come, the outcomes. Don't force outcomes the way you want them to be. Really important, because the 2 energy is a gentle energy. Very gentle. It's not aggressive. So you don't want to be aggressive when you're in a gentle energy. Pushing too hard in relationships especially, or any decisions, is likely going to backfire on you. You don't need nothing backfiring on you in the month of February. You want to take advantage of this month and trust that things are going to unfold again in perfect divine alignment. Do your absolute best to avoid any unnecessary conflicts when we step into February and that 2 vibration. This is not a time for egotistical type of battles or aggressive debates with others. Avoid them like the plague, friends. If disagreements do arise, instead, approach them in a very patient manner and with the willingness to understand both sides, to look at both sides of the coin. If you're not willing to do that, then just avoid it altogether, and you'll make your month much more joyful. Friends, do not overthink things and do not doubt yourself while we're bathing in this 2 vibration. The sensitive nature of the 2 vibration can actually lead to a whole bunch of indecisiveness and second guessing. Again, that duality. Don't second guess yourself, friends. Trust yourself, trust your gut feelings, trust your intuition, and trust your intuitive nudges too, because when your intuition's nudging you, you should flow with that instead of getting stuck in this over analytical mindset and this back and forth from one side of the coin to the other. Do not second guess yourself. Do not doubt yourself in the month of February. Beings that we are still flowing in the 9 vibrational year throughout 2025, it's important in February, but for the remainder of the year, that you do not cling on to the past, friends. What did I say earlier? Let it go, because the 9 energy of the year is all about clearing space for new beginnings. And if you don't clean out the closet, you're not going to have more room to hang the new stuff when you buy it. Don't resist change by holding on to relationships, especially old relationships, or even like holding on to your old job, career, or business, or any beliefs that really no longer serve your highest potential and are affecting you from your growth. So again, let go of the past, friends. The past can be the biggest sabotage in our lives. Don't let it sabotage you. We also have to remember, again, the 2 is all about duality. It's not a single number, it's a double number. Duality is about partnerships. So therefore, we really need to avoid isolation when we're in February. And I know in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the cold days of winter, but still you can get out and do things. The 2's all about making connections. If you feel emotionally overwhelmed, then reach out to a loved one. Reach out to a mentor or spiritual guides rather than retreating into solitude. This is not a month for a retreat in solitude. A retreat with other people would be great. If you can find a good retreat to go to, awesome. But as far as retreating into solitude and alienating yourself from others, that is definitely something you do not want to do in the month of February if you want February to help you to flow into abundance, joy, and happiness. Overall, friends, the month of February is going to invite all of us to walk forward with grace, to trust in the divine timing of the universe, and to nurture the connections that are going to bring us more peace and fulfillment into our lives. Move gently. Remember, don't force things or push things. Listen deeply to your intuition and to the divine, and allow the universe to help align things in perfect unity for you. Now in the month of February, but also moving forward to the remainder of the year and beyond. Your vision of the future is important as well. Remember that. Don't overthink, don't overdoubt yourself, and don't push things. Just allow the gentle flow of the waters to help you flow to an amazing future with the 2 vibration of February and the 9 vibration of 2025. And here's a little mantra, a little affirmation to help you to ensure that you're flowing through the month of February with ease and joy. You say the following each and every day, several times a day. I trust, I flow, I align with harmony and the divine timing. Again, I trust, I flow, I align with the harmony and divine timing. Hallelujah. Now, friends, let us look to the sky and see what the stars have to say for the month of February, a month that's definitely going to be a month filled with courage, a month of expansion, and a month of spiritual awakening. It's an amazing time for these awakenings to occur, especially as we get into the latter part of February, which I'll tell you about in just a bit. But February 2025 is a month of bold actions. You're going to see that playing out on the global stage. And hopefully you'll see that playing out in your own life. Bold actions, deep reflection, and again, spiritual renewal and spiritual awakenings as we navigate through these powerful cosmic shifts and these powerful vibrations of the numbers. Now, the stars are going to call us to embrace this month our passions, step into leadership roles, and trust the divine timing in all areas of our lives. Very important. So let us dive in today to the key astrological alignments and how they may inspire you to make the best out of February 2025 and how this could reflect on global world events that are ahead in February as well. On February 4th, we have 2 amazing alignments ringing in, starting with Venus entering into the sign of Aries, and we have Jupiter directed in Gemini. This is when passion meets opportunity, friends. Great opportunity, because Venus, of course, the planet of love, beauty, and finances, entering the sign of Aries, which is going to ignite our hearts with this sense of courage, passion, and independence. This is a time to make really bold moves when it comes to love and also when it comes to business as well. Because Aries is all about encouraging us to chase what sets our souls on fire. What sets you on fire, friends? Let it set you on fire and let it do so without hesitation when this alignment comes in on February 4th. At the same time, Jupiter stations direct in Gemini, and that is going to bring clarity to our vision and expansion when it comes to communications and new opportunities when it comes to learning and networking with others. So if there was a class that you wanted to take or have been wanting to take, February is a great time to sign up for that. If you want to get out and network with others, or even if you don't have a desire to take a class or a thought to take a class and something pops up in front of you that's interesting, you're definitely going to want to do that. Sign up for that course or go take that little class and network with others while you do so. The fog of uncertainty that we've been in since the beginning of the year, a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fogginess. I've seen it with lots of clients. That is going to begin to lift in the month of February, once we get to February 4th and beyond. And that will help to bring clear vision when it comes to our path of success and help us to really put some action behind our desires. It's a really amazing alignment that's coming in. Now, Jupiter direct with Gemini, after months of slowdowns, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and the planet of luck, is going to station direct again in Gemini. This is going to open up doors for rapid advancement when it comes to communications. I would expect that we could even see, this just popped in my brain actually, holographic, you see it in cartoons, right? Like The Simpsons where they're on the phone, but it's holographic. I would expect to see that popping out soon, especially means it just popped in my brain. Now, we could also see rapid advancements in media and technology. And another thought that pops in my mind is when it comes to media, this is a time where we could see media being called out for, false information. And we can also see a big boost when it comes to independent media, which they deserve. A lot of them deserve. I watch independent media. It's, in my opinion, the best way to go. So we're going to see a big growth with that and other technologies. Now, also expect there to be big revelations, huge revelations, groundbreaking discoveries, because that energy is all about new discoveries. And there's going to be this surge of information that begins to flow. Now, we just heard recently that the new administration in the United States is releasing all the files on JFK and others. That is a big flow of a surge, that's a surge of information. That's what these energies are going to bring in. Now, I don't think these papers have been released yet, but I would expect that they'd come sometime after February 4th. Now, to inspire yourself, a little inspiration with these alignments, remember, trust yourself, be fearless when it comes to love and when it comes to your creative pursuits. Say yes, friends, when it comes to new adventures, unexpected opportunities. This is the time because they will lead you to abundance, joy, and happiness. Other strong potential events that will happen with these alignments coming in on February 4th is first, a lot of really geopolitical tensions that are going to escalate. We're going to see a lot of aggression when it comes to negotiations and when it comes to current conflicts and future conflicts. The stock markets, which I'll go into more in depth with my specific predictions later in this forecast, big, sharp movements that we're going to see with ups and downs and huge financial shakeups. Another interesting thing with these vibrations, ladies out there, this is a vibration of the feminine goddess energies, friends. This is when we're going to see women who are in leadership role positions stepping into that goddess feminine energy and really taking very strong, very decisive actions. That's going to inspire all these new movements and inspire this. It's going to be very inspirational. So ladies, look forward to seeing women stepping into their power when these alignments come in on February 4th. Of course, there's going to be major breakthroughs when it comes to artificial intelligence, which we see continuing each and every day. But February is a big boost. And that's when we're going to hear a lot more about quantum technology and quantum computing. And of course, they're going to push more and more down our throats about travel into Mars and other planets. That's what these alignments are about. So it's interesting that they are pushing for travel to Mars and space travel and other things. Now, there could literally be there will be a whole lot of political disclosures that are going to come out with big speeches and negotiations and a lot of policy changes that are going to emerge once we step into February. It's going to be really interesting. Even more interesting is this energy and vibration kicking in on February 4th is also going to be bringing this resurgence of grassroots movements, especially grassroots movements that are pushing for our freedoms, freedom of speech. We're going to see grassroots movements evolving, fighting for education, and of course, for our privacy when it comes to the digital world and the digital realm, and a fight against the privacy that we may lose when AI goes global. It's going to be really interesting. On February 12th, we have the full moon in Leo, and that is all about owning your light, friends. Own it. Because under this majestic Leo full moon that kicks in on the 12th, you are going to be reminded, all of us are going to be reminded, of our divine radiance and how much we radiate like the divine creator. This whole process in full moon is a lunation of our self-expression, confidence, and it's all about celebration, friends. So get out there, celebrate your life. Come on. Anything that is hidden can be brought to the surface at this time too, especially when it comes to areas of creativity, when it comes to areas of leadership, and when it comes to personal fulfillment. You may suddenly discover you have a music talent or creativity that you never realized you had. So if you had that desire to all of a sudden start painting or do something new, definitely you're going to let that creativity flow. You're going to want to. Now, Leo teaches us that playing small, that doesn't serve anybody. This is a time to release fear, to embrace your unique gifts, because we are all very uniquely gifted. We are all unique beings, and stand boldly in your truth, whatever that truth may be. Whether it's love, whether it's career, whether it's your personal projects, this full moon is going to really have you wanting and learning to shine, and to allow you to shine without having to apologize. Why should you have to apologize about your shining brightly? Yeah, shine like a diamond, baby. Shine like a diamond. A little bit of inspiration to help you with this full moon. Remember, you are a powerful source, and the world does need your light. And that's the best thing we can do for this planet. You can't change others. You can't awaken others. The only thing you can do, friends, is let your light shine. And this is a time where the world really is going to need your light to shine, your voice to shine. And it's also a time to step into the spotlight. Own your magic. Do some magic tricks on stage or whatever it is to step into the spotlight. This is definitely the time when we hit that full moon in Leo on the 12th. Some very strong potential events that could kick in with that Leo full moon energy is that we can see a lot of mass protests starting to break out by the time we get into mid-February. We could see a lot of not only just protests, demonstrations, and people really getting out and demanding transparency and this authenticity when it comes to our leaders, something we need. So that energy is all about, again, awakening the masses. And when you awaken the masses, that's when people get angry and get out there and start protesting. And full moons bring in those energies and heighten our energies, our emotions. So, you could be a little angry, but that full moon can make you really angry. Now, you could be happy, and that full moon can make you super duper happy. Remember, it highlights and heightens all emotions. Another potential is we could start to see not only just demonstrations and protests, but we're going to see a lot of big leaders stepping into the light. Well, even though they're in the light, but stepping up. Celebrities, this could be celebrities too. Public figures, where there's going to be a lot of downfalls of these people. So we could see a lot of shocking announcements around big leaders and heads and apologies, public apologies, which brings note to a past prediction I made about seeing a celebrity getting up and apologizing. I don't know what for, but February and right around that full moon and right after that full moon is the time where we can very likely see this come into fruition. On the loving day of St. Valentine, February 14th, we have Mercury entering the sign of Pisces. And this is all about receiving messages from the divine, friends. Just in time for Valentine's Day, of course. Mercury's going to drift into the dreamy sign of Pisces, shifting our communication style from logic to more intuitive, the way it should be. Remember, in the past, I said Spirit told us in the future we'll be communicating telepathically. This could be a time around Valentine's Day where you can start to experience that telepathic communication. This is also a time for spiritual downloads when we receive information. And I know many of you know what that means. Some of you don't know what that means. They're energetic. It's like downloading something onto a computer. We might not know what all the code says, but we might know what it does, right? You know, write all this code. It's pretty much the same because our brain is a computer system. We get these downloads a lot of times when we have a lot of solar activity. Solar flares hit, especially the X class and the larger ones. That causes a shift and brings in a download of information. You know how sometimes you know something and you just don't know how you know it, but you know it? Yeah, likely that came from a download. That's how you know it. Or sometimes it could be past life stuff too. But again, this is a very big time for spiritual downloads and heightened creativity. Just get out there, be creative, friends, and also making profound emotional connections. It's a great time with this energy coming in with Mercury entering Pisces. Now, words are going to become more poetic. It's going to be interesting. It's going to make our thoughts begin to turn inward and look inwardly in a poetic kind of fashion. And the divine message is going to flow freely. So pay attention to, again, the voices in your head are not always you. And especially around that time of the 14th, those messages and voices in your head are divine messages. Divine messages filtered in from your master spirit guides and guardian angels. Pay very close attention to those divine messages, friends. Be free to allow those messages to flow. And of course, meditation is always the key to helping us with that. And if you've been searching for any type of clarity, well, you can expect some answers to come when it comes through your dreams. Again, your intuition. Your dreams are a big sign, and you're going to see the dreams begin to heighten when we hit that full moon in Leo. But when the 14th rolls around, it's going to be bringing even more heightened answers through your dreams. Dreams do provide answers when you learn to interpret them, or even ask the universe to provide you answers through your dreams. Pay attention again to the synchronicities that are happening around you. And then these sudden epiphanies that you have, sudden realizations, things that hit you out of nowhere. That's coming from the divine. And you've seen that if you watch me long enough and watch my show, you'll see where things just come out like that. Just sudden realizations, sudden predictions, and then they happen 2 days later. So yeah, pay attention to that, friends. Pay very, very strong attention. It's a powerful time and an amazing time as we step into February. A little bit of inspiration is to tell you to listen to the whispers of your soul, friends. Listen to the whispers of your soul. Trust your intuition, because it is your intuition that is guiding you towards your destiny. Always know that, and always follow the intuition and listen to your heart. You'll be so glad you did. Some strong potential world events that are going to begin to occur once this Mercury enters Pisces alignment happens on Valentine's Day. First, we're going to see a huge rise when it comes to spiritual movements, especially over in Asia. That just popped in my brain. I'm going to say it probably has to do with China, but it could also have to do with other parts and even Japan. But I see big spiritual movements rising up in discussions when it comes to both faith, religion, and most importantly, when it comes to our intuition and people having discussions about that. Discussing our intuition and discussing telepathy and the conscious and the subconscious minds. See, we got to talk about these things and bring them to the dinner table, because when we do, it opens people up more to that intuition and to those amazing abilities. It is definitely a time for amazing spiritual awareness and spiritual awakenings. Also, you can expect that this could be a time where we could see very deep moving emotional things being put in front of us, whether it's a groundbreaking documentary, groundbreaking movie that's like, the Oscar winning movie of the year coming out right around that time period, or just right after the 14th. Could it be on the 14th? I would look for releases on that date. And other things that really deeply moves us together as a collective and as a society. That's going to be really interesting. Now, my favorite part about this alignment is the scandals and the hidden truths that are going to be exposed. No doubt about it. A very big scandalous time period, and these scandals finally getting exposed, friends. It's so exciting to me, particularly when it comes to, the political institutions and all the things that happened over the past years with past politicians and leaders. Expect all these scandals to break big as we step into the mid to late February. On February 23rd, we have Mars direct in the sign of Cancer, the little crab. That's all about emotional strength and determined actions, friends. Because we just went through this period of these internalized frustrations. Have you noticed that? Or internalized emotional processing. Yeah, not good for the body, mind, or spirit. Well, Mars, the planet of action, is going to go again direct in the sign of Cancer. That is going to encourage us to finally move forward with this emotional intelligence and with more purpose. This alignment is going to help us to finally channel our emotions into a more meaningful action. Now, remember, Cancers are one of the emotional signs of the zodiac, along with Pisces and Scorpio, and not emotional on the outside, friends. They hold all their emotions in. That's the difference. And that can be toxic, again, to the body, mind, and spirit. But this alignment and with Mars coming into the picture, this is, again, going to help us to channel our emotions into more meaningful actions, especially when it comes to matters of home, family, or your own personal security. If you felt stuck lately or felt really uncertain or, anything like that, this shift and this energy coming in on February 23rd is going to be the movement that you need, the momentum that you need to build, to protect, and to fight for what matters most to you and in your life. It's a powerful alignment and can be quite an emotional one, too. To add a little bit of inspiration to this February 23rd alignment, remember, strength is not just about force, friends. It's also about emotional resilience. So let your heart lead the way. And when you take actions, do so with wisdom and do so with care, and you will make the best out of this alignment. So how could this alignment affect the world and global events? Well, this alignment could really cause some intensity and some escalation when it comes to conflict. And when it comes to military movements, like the military moving into new areas and new things, especially when it comes to themes of homeland security, which makes me concerned that it would be around this time period or soon after that we could see something that comes to light, like an attack of some sort, within the country, that again brings homeland security to the forefront and the security of our country. Not just this country, but other countries too. So remember that when we hit that alignment on the 23rd of February, to pay attention that we're going to see a lot on the media and such when it comes to homeland security. More so in the United States, but other places too, the United Kingdom, France, Israel, and many others. This alignment on February 23rd is going to have a huge influence when it comes to natural disasters, especially natural disasters that relate to water. So cyclones in the southern hemisphere, floods, and potentially the tsunamis that I've been seeing visions of for quite some time that I know are coming at some point in 2025. This is a time where all of these things are more prevalent, kicking in on the 23rd. Now, I'm more concerned with the month of March, and that's when I feel where things are really going to really be intense. But don't rule out a big natural disaster and things with floods towards the very end of February. That'll just be the start of it before we walk into the March chaos and craziness. Remember, I picked 3 months a year that are the most intense. This year, I picked March, July, and November. We're going to see how that works out. Another thing that this alignment's going to have a very, very strong influence on is family and social justice issues taking center stage. We're going to see movements that are out there advocating for child's rights and children's rights. Housing security is going to become a big focus in the home security, which tells us, why would housing security become a big focus? Well, likely because things are happening, maybe whether it be robberies or people being even, people intruding into other people's homes, whatever the word is, I can't get it out of my brain, but you know what I mean. that would bring housing security into the focus. Like, hey, wait, are we secure in our homes? Is our community secure? Is our community protected? So that'll be a big focus. And this is all part of shifting our planet into a safer, better, healthier environment for all of us over the next decade. The month of February ends off with this portal of spiritual rebirth on February 27th, when the deeply mystical new moon in the sign of Pisces rings in. Friends, this is going to open up a gateway to new dreams, to spiritual awakenings, and to deep soul healing. We need that deep soul healing as we move forward towards the new earth. Pisces energy is boundless. So it's reminding us that we are all connected, friends. We are all connected, and that connection leads right to the divine creator. And that our manifestations are only limited by our beliefs. So shifting our beliefs can help us to bring in better manifestations of what it is we want to allow to flow into our lives. This is always, of course, new moons are always important for setting your intentions and planting your seeds for the future. But this powerful new moon is all about setting intentions when it comes to creativity, setting your intentions when it comes to your intuition. You see that big highlight in the month of February, intuition, healing, and surrendering to the divine flow and the divine timing of the universe. Remember, trust that it is what is meant for you and what is best for you is all happening right now. And it's all being divinely and perfectly timed for you. Let it go, let things go, and just allow that flow of the universe to help work its magic to helping you reach that level of abundance, joy, and happiness that we all come here to achieve. So a little inspiration to help you flow through this amazing new moon on February 27th. Remember, you are limitless, friends. So surrender to the flow of life and trust in the unseen forces that are guiding you along the way, whether that be the divine creator itself or whether it be your guardian angels, ancestors, loved ones. And this is a month and a time where you can really connect with them on amazing levels that you would have never dreamed possible. This is a month, and that new moon is a time where miracles are going to happen, especially if you believe. Do you believe in miracles? I believe in miracles, friends. I hope you do too. Interesting enough that this new moon in Pisces kicking in on the 27th of February also is a focus when it comes to humanitarian efforts. Now, what have I been telling you, even in my 2025 world predictions, that the 9 vibration of 2025 is all about humanitarian efforts and people coming together to help others. And we instantly saw that. We saw that happen in Los Angeles. We see it happening in North Carolina. And we're going to see more and more of this. But in order for us to see more of this, of course, there's going to unfortunately be major events that are going to call for humanitarian efforts. We'll start to see that at the end of February, but mostly when we hit in the month of March. That's when I believe the end of February, March is when there could be a huge catastrophic event that could be responsible for a large amount of casualties. We hold in the light that's not the case, but the numbers, the astrology, and numerology all kind of point to that, along with my visions and predictions from the past. Remember, this is also about new spiritual movements that are going to kick off and begin with this new moon energy coming in. It's all going to be a big, deep call for global healing and, most importantly, unity and coming together. Also, there's going to be this increased interest, as I said in the past, and we are seeing it, but even more so when it comes to things like mental illness and even the realm of psychedelics. And of course, some areas they're going to try to go after psychedelics because they know the amazing healing powers of them, specifically the mushrooms or whether it be ayahuasca and other things. We're going to see this come to the forefront as a way of utilizing alternative medicines, alternative healing. We've seen that kick with the psychedelics for quite some time now. But this alignment, and when we get into this new moon and moving on forward to the rest of 2025, it's going to become huge, friends. It's going to become a big thing where eventually the medical communities are going to want to use it. But we don't want them to use it because, they'll use it to their advantage. We don't want that. We want to see the future healing centers that are not connected to the current medical system. And that's what the new earth is going to offer us. It's going to be completely different. There'll be healing centers, not hospitals. It'll be much, much different. Much different. Alternative medicine, especially alternative medicines that help with emotions and our spiritual well-being. The mental health, it's going to be a big focus, and it needs to be. It's all about mass spiritual awakenings. People may feel very drawn to things like mysticism, astrology, and other esoteric teachings, and we'll probably have a lot more people seeking out forecasts like this and other predictions and things. It's a big opening as we kick into this new moon in the sign of Pisces on February 27th. Some final astrological thoughts for February. Remember, friends, February is a month of bold beginnings, a month of radiant self-expression and emotional courage, and deep spiritual insight, great spiritual awakenings. With the Venus in Aries, we follow our desires fearlessly. With the Leo full moon, we embrace the light. And with the Mercury and the new moon in Pisces, we align to our perfect divine path. It is an amazing time to be alive, in my opinion. So remember, take risks, trust the process, open up your heart, open up your mind, and remember, the universe is calling you to step into your highest self and to embrace the extraordinary life that lies ahead for you and for all of us. And this is your overall affirmation for the month of February to ensure success and that you flow into the best potential future. Every day, as many times as possible, remember to say, I trust my path, I embrace my power, and I welcome miracles to flow into my life. Again, I trust my path, I embrace my power, and I welcome miracles into my life. So we can let this be a month of divine breakthroughs and inspired actions and helping you to reach that amazing future that lies ahead. Before I move on with some of my specific visions and predictions for February 2025, first, I want to welcome you back to the channel. Welcome you to the channel if you're new here. And if you are new here, I'm Joseph Tittel, aka Spiritman JT, and I welcome you with open air hugs. We are so glad you're here. And if you want to be a part of this awesome tribe, you got to smash that subscribe so that you get accurate predictions, prophecy, and truth. And remember, every Tuesday, I do Tuesday's Tea Time, where we talk about world events and how they may or may not relate to predictions and prophecy, along with new predictions each and every Tuesday. The predictions that I present in the forecast are just a small bit of what I'll be presenting over the next few weeks in the first Tuesday's show of February. So be sure to tune into that show. Be sure to hit that bell and all so that you get the notifications. Down below, you'll find the link to the newsletter. The best way to sign up for that newsletter is to open up the newsletter from the link below. In the top corner, you'll see the menu where you can subscribe to that newsletter. And when you do, you need to confirm the email that you receive. That's how you get it. You cannot email me your email to be put on the list. You have to do it that way. We cannot add you to the list. And keep an eye in your spam folder because very likely it could end up in your spam folder. And the February newsletter will go out right after this video, probably on the 1st or on Friday. So keep an eye out for that. Once we get that February newsletter down, it'll be linked down below. If you're seeing the January link down below, it means February's not done yet. But we'll get it out as soon as possible. Also, you'll find all the links to the social media platforms down below as well, including the supporters at Subscribe Awaken Your Spirit community and all the members of this community and others and those that contribute to this channel that make all this free content possible for everybody else. I am so grateful for you that I get to do what I love to do and present this great content for all of you and have the time to do it because of your love and support. I appreciate you with infinite love and gratitude. Let us move on to some specific predictions for February 2025. Now, shall we feed that prediction addiction, friends? Let us do so. Keep in mind, though, when it comes to predictions, we can't always put a specific timeline when it comes to certain events and predictions. Some of my visions, especially, don't come into fruition right away. Some play out 2 to 3 years later. Now, most of these predictions that I have for you today, I was very focused on the month of February and expect them all to pretty much play out this month. But if they don't play out, it doesn't mean that they're not going to sometime later on in 2025. First and foremost, right before I sat down to do this part of the recording, two things popped in my brain. First, Joe Biden popped in my mind. And I don't know why, but just when I saw, interesting enough, when Spirit just popped Biden in my head, I saw 3 Bidens all standing together, which is really interesting, actually. 3 Bidens, and the one in the middle was much taller. We all know about the tall Biden that showed up in front of the White House that day, remember? He was like literally 6'2", and Biden's short. So maybe that has something to do with it. I can only maybe interpret this that we'll find out the truth about his body doubles. They all have doubles, friends. That shouldn't be a surprise. And we already know the 3-letter agency that begins with the letter C has the technology to create masks to make you look like anybody they want you to look like. That truth came out over the past year. Very interesting truth. But I would expect that there must be something coming out with Biden, his doubles, and some other huge news around Joe Biden and his family. I'm surprised Biden made it this far, to be quite honest with you. I don't think he's going to make it much further. And the other one that popped in my mind is somebody that we've talked about before, is Bill Clinton. Now, remember, I had visions of 3 consecutive presidential funerals. And we all knew one would be Jimmy Carter. I mean, you didn't even need to be psychic to guess that one. That was an easy guess. The odds were more against you because everybody knew it was going to be him. Now, the other 2, well, I believe there could even be a 4th one thrown in there. But Bill Clinton popped in my mind. Not that it has anything to do with presidential funerals, but I would believe, even though people may think it's Biden over Clinton, Clinton's got the numbers against him when it comes to his health this year. Bill Clinton and Hillary both are in their 9 personal year in numerology. And the 9, just like the planet Earth, is all about endings, death of cycles, and so forth. So it's very likely that one of the Clintons is going to end up being a widow soon. The question is, which one will it be? Now, likely it's going to be, of course, Hillary ending up being the widow and Bill Clinton end up passing. Now, I don't necessarily feel that this is happening in February, but like I said, when I just hit the record button and sat down, those 2 things popped in my head. They're not in any of my notes, so there you have it. We'll have to keep our eyes on the Biden family, the 3 Bidens, because I saw 3 of them, and the Clintons. Something I would expect coming up around one of the Clintons' health this month. Even more so April, because April is the month where they are both, Bill and Hillary are both in their 4 vibration, and the 4 vibration can very much be health related. We've seen Queen Elizabeth pass away in her 4 vibration, her 4 year. People often can pass in their 4 year or their 9 year. Both Clintons being in their 9, there's no doubt that they are both going to experience major losses of some sort this year, along with some type of loss. And I'm going to say it's going to be loss of one of them. Likely Bill Clinton will pass sometime in 2025. And being we're talking about presidents and president things, and of course Trump and the Trump administration's the big thing all over the globe right now. And I have to put in there that Trump happens to be entering into his 4 personal month in numerology in the month of February. Trump is currently in his 2 year, which is interesting. Last year, Trump was in his 1, which is new beginnings, new starts, new things, and that's when he got elected. He got elected in his 1 year. The 2 is all about building the foundation, building the blueprint so that in the 3, you get your foundation down. Isn't that interesting? And now Trump's in his 2 year. He's putting the blueprint out there. Next year, he puts the foundation down. The final year, he builds it all. Well, not the final year, but 3rd year builds it all. It makes sense to the numbers completely. But being he's in the 4 vibration, the 4 vibration is also about structure. It's also about discipline, hard work, and practicality. And we're going to see that play out really strongly out of the White House in February. Now, this period for DT is going to emphasize on the importance of organization, attention to details, and this laying down again of this strong foundation and blueprint. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out with that in the month of February. Now, the emphasis on the 4 vibration and within Trump's natal chart shows that this is a time for him to build long-standing new structures, which would make sense to say putting in a new currency that ends up being a long-standing new structure, a new currency. He's going to be doing a lot of that. It's going to be interesting. But let's hope that it's all for the positive and not for the global elites' agenda. They totally enslave humanity. And as I've been telling you, the old systems must collapse. They have to. And he is here to build new long-standing structures, which in the long run, many are going to be very good actually for America, and actually not just America, for allied countries as well. At the same time, I would say that Trump's health could become a big focus in February. He may even end up being sick. It could be like with COVID or something like that. But he's in that 4 vibration, and being he's so stressed, you could see it in him, so stressed and he's so tired. That man needs a little vacation, like really, a little vacation. Because you could just see it in his eyes when I saw him speak about the plane crash that happened over D.C., which that's another thing that we'll see. Planes, aeroplanes, helicopters are a big focus. And I didn't actually put that in any of my notes, so I'll just say it while I'm here, why it's coming out, that we'll see more of this. I saw a plane exploding in the sky. That's basically what happened in D.C., but it was a collision. I believe that wasn't necessarily the vision I was having. Because my feeling, and I could be wrong on that the plane I saw exploding was because there was something put into the luggage container, if you know what I mean. So not only that, lots more incidents and accidents because the astrology says it for the month of February. And we weren't even in February yet, but we already had alignments in place. But we're not even in February yet, and we had that major incident. 2 of them. We had the one in Alaska that happened with the airplane too, just over the past week. And I am recording this, so you know, on January 30th, 2:48 p.m. here in Sedona, Arizona. So airplanes, lots of incidents and accidents, and I'll go more into detail with specific predictions around airplanes again on my Tuesday show, next Tuesday, the first Tuesday show in February. Going back to Donald Trump and his health, the 4 vibration is a highlight on health. I don't believe he's going anywhere at all, not yet anyway. But I do believe he will have some health issues, especially there's a lot of strain around his heart. He could end up even having a mild heart attack in which he survives because, you know, the emotional cause of heart attack is putting everything, basically it's a workaholic. I can't remember exactly what it says in Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, but it's, putting money or business or work ahead of everything else that's important. And he's kind of doing that. He don't have a choice when you're the president, but that could also cause problems around the heart. So prayers to him and his family with that 4 vibration. I see huge scandals coming out in February and beyond when it comes to the church. And it's actually multiple churches, according to Spirit, actually. Many scandals are going to be coming in late February and moving into the intense energies of March and April. Remember, March is also eclipse season, friends. Eclipse season's all about revelations and revealing things into the light. That's going to be really interesting. And some of these things that are going to come to light is going to be some scandals. We all love a good scandal, don't we? Big scandals. And it's not just going to be scandals coming out around the church. And I'm not saying the Vatican Church. I'm saying any church in general. It could be that church, what's his name? Oh, I can't think of his name. Oh, where they had the Pal. That guy. Could be revolved around that. Because there's definitely some scandals happening there for sure. So scandals not just with the church, but also I see scandals when it comes to, well, actually I also see that there could be an arrest revolved around one of these church scandals. Somebody being arrested, and it could be connected to fraud and other charges. Maybe even charges that have to do with little ones, if you know what I mean. That's probably what it is actually now that I feel it out. But also huge political scandals, friends. Huge political scandals that we're going to see to begin to unravel, bringing in this new level of truth being released to humanity. A truth that's going to be shocking at first, but truths that need to happen. People need to realize how dark and sinister things really are behind the scenes. And soon, we will find out. Get ready for a huge boost in spirituality. And once again, a new level of ascension that can broaden our intuition and help us to receive more clear visions of our future and where it is that we truly want to move towards. Remember, I say it all the time. I tell my clients all the time, your vision of the future is important, not how to get there. You don't need directions to get there. You don't have a GPS. Universe has the GPS to your soul contracts, to your agreements. All you have to do is hold the vision. I don't know how I'm there. I just know in the future that's exactly where I am and get excited about it each and every day. And with this energy coming in February, that's going to help broaden our intuition and receive more clear visions of our future, getting us out of this fogginess that people have been in, not being able to see where you're going or not know where it is you really want to go. That's all going to change. And we're going to be able to see what truly lies ahead for us, or what we would like to see lie ahead for us. Spirit shows me that we're going to see an increase of solar activities towards the latter part of February, right around the new moon on the 27th. This is going to be an indicator that's going to boost our intuition and our dreams, along with helping to clear whatever fog, again, that has been blocking our vision and our truth for some time now. That fog is about to lift, friends. That's exciting, actually. Once the fog lifts, a little patience, take all the advice that's come through so far with the alignments and the numbers for February, and you can make this an amazing month. Also, late February and more in the month of March, we're going to see these truths come out, pouring out like a broken water main, friends. Truths, all kinds of truths, especially about the things that have been holding that fog over our eyes. It's really, again, an amazing month. As long as we flow through it and do so with courage, with taking the initiative, and of course being patient at the same time. Speaking of broken water mains, I see this huge city issue taking place with the water and continuous water main breaks or issues with the water flow. Now, I saw water main breaks last year, and remember that happened soon after, actually within a couple weeks after I said it happened in Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. This is a little different, but could be sort of similar, but different, because I feel like there's issues with the water flow. And I don't know even what that exactly means, but an issue with the water flow. I saw a vision of bottled water being brought in, and I also saw a vision of a boil water advisory popping up on phones and television. And I feel this event is actually going to hit multiple cities and countries. It's not just one particular place. One place will be right here in the United States, but I see this playing out in other places too, because we're going to begin to see water becoming more and more of a very, very important topic. Remember, water is life, friends. There ain't nothing without water, and clean water, that is, too. So big focus on that, especially around how our water flows. And how it flows and the toxicity that remains in our waters, especially public drinking waters. This is going to be something that's going to play out over the next decade. This is going to lead the whole planet into these new systems of purification for our waters, which is, in the long run, this is going to bring more healthy, clean waters to cities and to towns across the globe. So again, sometimes bad things have to happen in order for us to initiate something much bigger, better, and positive that helps us move into that new Earth nation and an amazing time for humanity and planet Earth. And speaking of the waters, because water is a big focus with the vibrations that we're in, soon we're also going to see the truths come out. We already are, but big time we're going to see the truths come out when it comes to fluoride and its negative effects, not just on our body, but on our brain and on our thinking. It calcifies your pineal and pituitary glands. Your pineal, the top center of your brain, which looks exactly like a pine cone. Go to the Vatican, there's big statues of pine cones. The Pope carries a staff with a pine cone. Interesting. They make up some story and tell you it's something, but really it says it right in the Bible. We were all created in the image of the divine, and therefore we are all divine beings ourselves. The divine lies in the pineal. That is where your soul resides, center of the brain. That is our connection to God and the divine, because we are all divine beings and, again, can connect to the divine. So the fluoride has been a big thing that prevents that, calcifies that. Your third eye, your pituitary gland, your psychic intuition, your thyroid, which you see people with thyroid issues and throat issues. That's communication, speaking up for ourselves. They don't want you to speak up for yourselves. So soon we're going to see a cry out to remove this toxic fluoride from our waters permanently. There are already lawsuits and things going on in different states in the United States, but this is going to be big. It's going to be a cry out from people. When people, again, awaken to the truth, they're going to be like, probably protesting with this. And it's going to start in small areas, towns, and then cities, and eventually spread globally wherever fluoride is added to drinking waters. And you'd be surprised it's added, in the United States, it was literally, they were regulated. They had to put it in the water. Still do in most places. And I've had many people even back in Pennsylvania, oh, they don't do that to our water. I'm like, yes, they most certainly do. And then I had to go out and show them and prove to them that they do. You see, the town, when you call your township, excuse me, when you call your township, they only have to reveal what, if you ask them for what's in the water, they have to reveal what's not supposed to be there, right? They don't tell you when they give you the list of all the stuff that's in the water, the minerals and whatever's in the water. When they test the waters, they don't tell you the chlorine level. Why? Because they expect that you already know chlorine's in the water. So therefore, same with fluoride. They don't tell you that either because they expect you already know it's in there. It's the stuff that's not supposed to be there, not the stuff they add to it. See the difference there? So this is going to spread. And again, this is already moving us into a future where there's better food, better drinking waters for all of us. But first, we have to fight the devil, right? We have to fight the devil and the demons that wish to, wish the exact opposite for humanity. And, in the end, the light will win. Again, with water being a huge focus in the coming year, we are going to see my past predictions of water wars coming into fruition. And I believe we are already seeing this in states like California, right? It's like the war over the water. But more serious water issues that I see coming for the Middle East and for Europe. And India just popped in my brain too. India. From this is going to be born new systems, friends. New systems. And I know they already have a system, but this is different. Spirit says this is going to be a new system. So it does not exist. A new system for desalination, taking the salt out of the ocean water. And again, they do have current desalination, let me get that word out right, systems, but they, allegedly, they tell us they suck up way too much energy. Well, Elon Musk went and put one in Africa for the people there. He might have put multiple ones there. But they say, again, it sucks up too much energy, and that's not why they're doing it. Because really, to me, all the billions of dollars they send to fight conflicts and proxy conflicts, they could have built these right on the coast of California to help them and all along wherever we need them. But that's the thing. If they are energy guzzlers, doesn't matter. Spirit says a new system's coming. A new system. So ask the question, why can we not create energy while also removing the salt from the ocean waters simultaneously? So they say it takes too much energy. But what I see in the future, and that's very, very possible and is going to happen, is I see a combination of something that both creates its own energy and desalinates the water, takes the salt out of the water. So that's interesting technology that we'll be seeing, not necessarily in February, but we'll see the water issues in February and more of this being addressed and more of a push to, do something about the waters and to get more water when needed. And that's what's going to happen. This invention that creates both energy and desalts the water at the same time. So it basically runs on its own. Pretty easy system. Something to look forward to. The month of February, and again moving forward into the month of March, we are going to witness more tensions growing in the geopolitical arena. We are going to see a lot of leaders bumping heads with each other, even within the same country. We'll see it, for example, in the Senate, a lot of bumping of heads, especially when it comes to negotiations. Negotiations revolved around the current conflicts that are happening across the globe, and a strong potential for an escalation of conflicts towards the latter part of the month, especially when it comes to the Russian-Ukraine conflict. I see that still escalating. And when it comes to the so-called peace in the Middle East, friends, I just don't see that. I just don't. I have this feeling that there's something real, and my feelings of everlasting peace doesn't sound plausible, doesn't feel plausible to me. Instead, I actually feel some type of an escalation is coming, perhaps more likely in March. Could be the end of February, but March. But I also see an attack on an Iranian base. And I think it's an Iranian nuclear facility base or something, but I see Israel going in and attacking a base with help probably from the United States and the new administration. This could really escalate things, friends, as we move into the spring and summer months, and we don't want that. So let's hold in the light that peace overrides the conflicts. I feel this shocking disclosure coming in around a world leader. I don't know who, though. So therefore, because I don't know who, I'm thinking that this is going to happen with multiple leaders. Shocking disclosures of a leader that is end up, of course, having to resign or step down or step out of office due to the controversy. And likely, of course, to escape any type of legal or criminal charges against them. But likely, the community is going to demand justice. Remember, again, 2025 is that 9 vibrational year that ensures that many, many more leaders are going to fall, friends, by the end of the year. Some are going to be quite shocking, causing quite a bit of shakeups due to those passings. And I'm pulled to South America and Europe both, so there are two areas definitely look for major changes happening. I feel that Putin's time on the planet Earth is coming to a close within the next 12 to 18 months, perhaps even sooner. I see Putin being poisoned from somebody within the Kremlin, likely somebody within the KGB itself, an organization that he once belonged to. But now, Spirit says they want him out. Putin's going to enter his 9th personal year in 2026, certainly indicating an end to his reign and his leadership. Its ending is death of cycles, and I think that ending is going to be an ending of his life. But if not, definitely an ending to his leadership. I don't think his leadership's up by then, so it would have to be the first thought. This, of course, could also come sooner. I'd say even October could be a very plausible month and time when he could possibly be, suddenly show up deceased, Putin, because he's in the double nines. He's in the 9 year. He's in the 8 year. I'm sorry. He's in the 9 month in October. And October is often a reflection of the coming year. So it could be October. But now July pops in my brain too, because I feel like July is going to be a super intense month with the fall of multiple leaders. So July is definitely a month to look towards. But first, we got to get through these months, and especially March and April, because remember, my first intense month that I point to in 2025 is March, followed by July, and then November. Get ready to hear about more huge leaps and bounds when it comes to artificial intelligence as the technology that's going to take over the world in the coming months. Leaps and bounds that are going to eventually bring a call to passing some type of legislation and laws revolved around AI technology. And get this one, friends, this is really interesting. Legislation and laws that limit those who get to use it. That's shady as crap, isn't it? Those who get to use it. So that means basically that they're going to make the best systems that they already do have that we don't see only accessible to those chosen elite, those that they choose, while we get the lower versions. See, what's going to happen is, they're programmed. The one they want for us is programmed to work against us, not for us. That's the one they're programming. They want, the history that they want you to know, not necessarily the truth. So thankfully, big thank you to the universe on this, because with the ascension of our planet and where humanity is heading in the coming years, this is not going to hold strong at all, because the global elite will no longer be able to hold these secret technologies from us that better our lives and better the planet Earth. No, the Earth needs it, and so does humanity, and they can't hold it from us for much longer. They're going to no longer have the control in which they seek to have, and that is a control they seek to take all of us over, after they get rid of more than half of us first. The less there are of us, the easier it is to control us. And it's, people might say that's conspiracy, but over the past 20 years of putting out predictions, dozens, maybe even hundreds of things that I was yelled conspiracy theorists for came into the light as being reality. So watch using that word, because as we move forward, we're going to see more and more things coming to the light that are no longer a conspiracy. So remember, often we have to experience things, and we have to experience the negative things in order for us to shift into the positive. And that's what's happening right now. Jumping back to July, I just want to put this out there now in relation to my past predictions revolved around another attempt on DT's life taking place in 2025. March and April are really strong periods of risks when it comes to energetically. Now, he's at risk in the 4 vibration of February, personally. But aside from that, the energies on the planet, March and April, are really strong periods for him to risk, in the energies. But the strongest time period that I feel that can be the strongest time period in which I feel that there will be an attempt on DT's life will be actually the month of July. Now, does this sound familiar to you? Wasn't July of last year that they tried to do the same thing? This July is actually going to be Trump's 9 personal month in numerology. The 9's about endings, death of cycles, and sometimes people pass in the 9 vibration. So there could also be some other type of loss that Donald Trump faces or experiences within his family in July. But something big's definitely happening around Donald Trump in the month of July 2025. As I stated in the past, when it comes to the markets, we are on a roller coaster ride when it comes to stocks, cryptos, and even precious metals. I had a vision of major crashes in the stock markets happening. Temporary small crashes, which we've been seeing recently, and also temporary small crashes in many cryptos, followed by large spikes in cryptos, coins. So first the loss, then spikes in coins like Bitcoin, XRP, and Solana, and a few others. But please be aware of the Bitcoin thing, because I do see a large fall of Bitcoin coming likely some part in the latter part of 2025. I would also, and then when that happens, it's a good time to run in and hurry up and buy some. I do also see a large fall, again, in Bitcoin in the latter part, but I would also tell you to be aware of huge drops come the month of July. July, again, the markets are going to be crazy. World events are going to cause major drops in the markets. I don't know what those world events are, but again, tune into my show every Tuesday, and as we get closer, we'll get more information from the spirits. February, in all, is going to be a pretty good month for economic growth, a really good month. Even though I still feel, again, the stock markets are going to be really, really shaky, it doesn't mean there can't still be amazing economic growth at the same time. Shaky markets, it's going to be shaky the whole year, but they will be shaky in February. But the rest continues to rise in the month of February. So lots of rises, especially when it comes to things like precious metals, big rises. I see rises in precious metals and record-breaking highs again in gold, silver, platinum. And Spirit showed me that platinum is going to become more and more popular of an investment. So I didn't think of that. I think I'm going to have to put platinum on my list. So just for craps and giggles, as they say, I had this random thought today that checked the numerology around cryptocurrencies. I never thought of doing that before. And how I did that was simply by running the name of the crypto in the name calculator. You can look it up for yourself, friends. Just Google numerology name calculator. Because there's a birthday calculator, there's a name calculator. But I went with the name calculator because I don't know the birthdays of all these coins. But that would be a good thing to look at. I never thought of that because I'm sure there's a release date for all these coins. Something I'll have to delve into in the future for sure. So what came to my mind today was, it just was random that I wanted to see what XRP's number came out to. It wasn't that I wanted to check all cryptocurrencies. It was just something popped in my mind that I wanted to see what number vibration XRP is in numerology. And you know what that number is? Interesting enough, it adds up to the number 22, a master number in numerology. 11, 22, 33, master numbers. And I'm a 22. And if you have a birthday on the 22nd or the 11th, you're a master number as well. But your birthday has to fall on one of those 2 days, the 11th or the 22nd. The 22 is all about leadership. It's all about strength. And it has so many powerful attributes. So I thought that was really interesting. That's a very powerful number. I'm glad I invested in some of that. Not much, but I invested in some of it. I'm going to watch until it goes down a little bit more. I'm hoping it goes down a little bit more so I can buy some more. Now, I typed Bitcoin in, being I was on the astrological calculator. I decided to put Bitcoin in there. And Bitcoin added up to the 9 vibration, which was surprising to me. I was trying to find one that had the 8 vibration. The 8's all about money and finances and infinite possibilities. And I remember Spirit said years ago something about a crypto that had the 8 vibration to it. I haven't discovered what that one is yet, but I'll have to look and keep searching. I still XRP that 22 master number. Now, the 9 vibration of Bitcoin, 9s are about endings and losses. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, the 9 universal year that we're in, and Bitcoin vibrating in the 9 vibration, this could be a high indicator that the major fall of Bitcoin, a major indicator of a big fall of Bitcoin, especially probably right around September when we're in the double 9 energy, 9 year, 9 month. The Bitcoin's the 9 coin. So it could be big falls in that around that time period, but anytime before the end of this year. Another one that I looked up, I saw a rise of XRP happening in 2025, the latter part. So again, I'm waiting for it to go down a little bit before I go into that. Remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm a psychic medium. So especially again around September when we're in those double 9s. I looked up Cardano. That's an 11 master number, which I thought was interesting. I have a little bit of that. And I looked up Uniswap, which was a 4 vibration. Now, if we look at XRP, again, XRP adds up to a 22. But in numerology, we also break it down to a single digit. But when we end up with an 11 or a 22 or a 33, we look at that first. Then we break it down by adding the numbers together. So XRP baseline number vibration would be the 4 vibration. So we have Uniswap coming in the same 4 vibration. I thought that was interesting. And Avalanche is also a 4 vibration. And then I looked up Shiba Inu, and that's also an 11 master number vibration, which hasn't done much, but doesn't mean it won't in the future. And then, of course, we have Doji. First, I looked up Doji because I didn't realize Doji coin is the full name. But I looked up Doji first, and I thought, oh, exciting, that's a 22. Maybe I should get more of that because, Musk is always pushing that one out. But then I looked closer, and it's Doji coin. So, and that adds up to a 9, just like Bitcoin. Interesting enough. And I just wanted to put that out to you because I thought it was really, really interesting. And I will delve deeper into the numerology around Bitcoins and look for their birth dates because that'll have a lot to do with it too. I'm sure they have a birth date, but someone will let me know in the comments down below. To finalize today's forecast and predictions, here are some strong dates that pop out at me. I glance at the calendar, do some scrying, which is basically just dazing at the calendar and see what jumps out at me. And for February 2nd jumped out at me very strongly. Both the 11th and 12th back-to-back jumped out at me strongly, like something big happening in those 2 days. And then February 22nd feels to me like something really huge is taking place on February 22nd. And then we also have the 17th jumped out at me on the calendar for February. So look towards those dates for major events and perhaps predictions to come into fruition. That sums it up for this February 2025 forecast and predictions. Remember, I will have more predictions out on my next Tea Time episode on Tuesday, the first Tuesday in February, along with other prophecy videos that I'll be putting out over the next week that you're not going to want to miss. I ask you to please show some love by clicking that thumbs up love button so that you can get more of this content showing up on your feed and so that this shows up on other people's feeds so that they can find this tribe and start to vibe with this tribe. And again, if you're new here and you like today's content, you want that accurate prophecies, predictions, and truth, be sure to vibe with our tribe by smashing that subscribe, hit the bell, hit the all so that you get notifications. And if you don't see me pop up by Wednesday, go directly to my channel to make sure that you were not mysteriously unsubscribed because it happens way too much. I find it to be extremely unfair. We have no way of doing that. So sometimes people come to the channel and say, you subscribe me. We can't do that. We can block comments, but we can't unsubscribe people. Only, the algorithms can do that. Nobody else. A big thank you again to all the supporters who made this content possible. I thank you with infinite love and gratitude. I hope you get out there and celebrate the month of February. Make it an amazing month. And while you do so, remember to be bold, be true, be kind, be you, and let your light shine, baby. And have a beautiful rest of your day. Much love.